Hey everyone! If you're currently working but thinking about beginning your Social Security benefits, you need to learn the current rules for this year.
And here are 8 questions that we get asked the most. What is the income limit and consequences if I make over the limit? Should I notify the Social Security Administration if I'm going to be over the limit? Does the Social Security look at single or joint income? What if I take Social Security benefits early and my spouse decides to take her spousal benefits? What happens to benefits that are withheld? What counts towards the income limit? And this is a tricky one. Why not claim Social Security early and invest the rest? And the last, what are some examples where it is best to claim early? Now pay close attention to the end of the video where we'll share real life examples where collecting your Social Security early could actually work in your favor. Welcome back to KCIIS, where our goal is to help you to retire healthy and wealthy. Hi, I'm Kai.
And I'm Ann. So if you want to claim Social Security benefits while you're working, there are some very specific rules that you need to be aware of.
However, there are 2 points for you to take note of. We're not discussing SSI, called Supplemental Security Income. And we're not discussing SSDI, which stands for Social Security Disability Income.
Right. Those Social Security benefits have completely different rules and mainly apply to those who are low income and or disabled. Our focus of this video is regarding your retirement benefits.
Right. Now, before discussing the rules, how do you qualify for Social Security benefits? You must work for a minimum of 10 years or 40 quarters, called credits, and have paid into the Social Security system through your FICA taxes.
And you probably heard of us talk a lot about FICA taxes in our hybrid pension videos. Now, if you do qualify for Social Security retirement benefits, the earliest to claim is age 62, and the latest is age 70. So that brings us to the number one most asked question. What is the income limit? And what are the consequences if you are over the limit?
Right. First, get familiar with an acronym called FRA, which stands for Full Retirement Age. What is your full retirement age? Well, to find out, look at this chart here and look for the year that you were born. If you were born between 1943 and 1954, your full retirement age is 66. And for each year after 1954, you add 2 months. And if you're born in 1960 or later, your full retirement age is 67.
Now, for our younger audience, don't be shocked if they keep pushing the full retirement age even further out.
Yeah, if they keep doing this, none of us will be able to retire.
That's why so many people are worried about Social Security.
Yeah, exactly.
Then what's so important about your FRA? Well, if you start your Social Security before your FRA, which you can do as early as 62, there's an earnings limit and potential withholdings and suspensions you should be aware of, which we're going to discuss right now.
Now, once you reach your full retirement age, there is no earnings limit.
Right, so your FRA is a huge deal. Well, here's an example. Assuming that your full retirement age is 67 and you want to collect early at age 62, you will have 30% less on your Social Security check.
Yeah, and that's a permanent reduction for life.
Now, if you wait just one more year to age 63, it's a 25% reduction. And if you wait until 64 years old, it drops to 20% and keeps going down each year until you reach your FRA.
However, what if you delay past your FRA? Then you will receive what's called delayed retirement credits, which is to your favor. You'll be guaranteed 8% for each year that you delay.
But don't delay your Social Security past age 70 since there's no additional 8% after that age.
Well, what if you do not want to wait until your full retirement age and you're okay with taking the reduction? Well, remember this. If you earn more than your earnings limit, which, by the way, we'll update it up here every year, your Social Security check will have what's called a withholding.
So how much do they withhold? Well, for 2023, it's $21,240. So for every $2 over the limit, $1 is withheld from your Social Security check, which is 50% of your check. Now, this is what some consider a penalty, but it's not a penalty, and we'll explain why in a bit.
Now, do the rules apply if you are in the calendar year in which you reach your full retirement age? No, this is where there's an exception. For example, if you reach your full retirement age in November for that entire calendar year, your income limit increases to $56,520, which is almost triple compared to the years before. During this calendar year, they will no longer withhold 50%. Rather, they will only withhold 33% or $1 for every $3 from your check.
If your earnings are way above the limit and the calculations we just discussed end up more than your Social Security retirement benefits, then your Social Security check could be suspended until you break even again. For example, if you start benefits at 62 and you make $20,000 over the limit, then 50% or $10,000 is what should be withheld. But if your Social Security check is only $2,000 per month, your checks will be suspended for 5 months until you reach the $10,000 that is supposed to be withheld. After that point, your $2,000 checks resume.
And that brings us to the next question. Should I notify Social Security if I'm going to be over the limit? Yes, absolutely. Let them file a work report with the new estimated earnings, even though this may result in your benefits being lowered.
You do not want to get an overpayment situation and have the mess of sorting through all those threatening letters from the government that won't even come to you until 3, 4, 5 years or so later. And then imagine all the work you have in going back, getting your tax returns, and trying to remember all your earnings. Sometimes you'll end up just accepting what they said is your earnings, which could be inaccurate.
Now, these earning limits are adjusted each year and indexed with inflation. So, subscribe if you haven't done so that way you're kept up to date with the new changes each year. And they will change. They have to in order to keep paying everyone.
And don't worry if you're so confused, you're not the only one.
So in what situations would anyone take Social Security early while working? Well, we'll get to that in a bit.
So the next frequently asked question is, does the Social Security Administration look at single or joint income? Most of you that are married file jointly, so your income counts as one when doing your taxes. So for example, if my husband makes more than the income limit, will his income affect me if I take Social Security before my full retirement age? Well, the answer is no. Good news. My husband's higher wages will not affect my income limit if I decide to start Social Security early. The earnings test, or the limit we discussed earlier, cannot reduce or turn off my benefits.
That now brings us to the next Social Security question. What if I take Social Security benefits early and my wife decides to take her spousal benefits? Well, her spousal benefits will then be affected by my income. And if I am over the limit, both my Social Security and her Social Security spousal benefits could trigger the withholding or potential suspension.
One more wrinkle. If I'm receiving spousal benefits and I'm below my full retirement age and still working, my work income is subject to the earnings limit and could reduce my payment.
Now, here's another exception, an ex-spouse. If I had an ex-spouse, what? Don't look at me like that. Her Social Security, not hers, the ex-spouse Social Security benefits will never be affected based on my income. That's the exception.
Right. Now let's answer this question. What happens to benefits that are withheld? The Social Security website states that the benefits withheld while you continue to work are not lost. They are added to your monthly benefit once you reach FRA. There's a calculation and an illustration on the ssa.gov website that you can take a look at. We'll leave the link in the description below.
Now, the next most asked question is this. What counts towards the income limit? What's interesting is that the most common income does not count. Income such as pension payments, hybrid pension payments, annuity payments, IRA distributions, dividends, interest income, and capital gains. Now, income that does count is employment income and net earnings from self-employment.
Now, keep in mind, if you work for someone else, the income counts when it's earned, not when it's paid. For example, if you have income that you earned this year, but the payment was made in the following year, the income would count towards this year and not next year.
Right. Some examples are accumulated sick or vacation pay and bonuses that would count towards the year you earned them, not when it's paid to you.
Second to the last question some ask us, Why not claim early and invest the rest since they can do better than Social Security?
In some situations, and that could be a good idea. If you are good at your investments and you're under or close to the earnings limit, we can actually see how that could be beneficial. We also have to calculate the time value of money, opportunity cost, and the break-even points. What does that mean? Well, we have a team that only specializes in Social Security benefits, and they have a proprietary software that takes all of your incomes, assets, pensions, hybrid pensions, annuities, life expectancy, and calculates the best strategies for you.
Did you know the Social Security Administration is not allowed to give strategic advice? They're only allowed to tell you what your benefits will be. They cannot ask about your outside assets or ask about your health to give you the best strategies.
Lastly, what are some examples where it's best to claim early? Well, earlier we talked about opportunity costs. Now, opportunity doesn't always mean investment opportunity. For example, what if your income is not much higher than the earnings limit we discussed earlier? Would it be best to collect your Social Security early? Well, what if you have some credit card debts, a car debt, or you would like to pay off your home early? Well, remember, the benefits that were withheld will be added back to your Social Security upon your full retirement age. So you never lost your withholdings. As you can see, planning early makes a huge difference. For example, if you have a pension or a hybrid pension, you might be able to maximize both your Social Security and your retirement portfolio. Retirement is all about income planning, not just investment planning. Here at KCIIS, we don't do investments, but we do specialize in income planning, especially guaranteed income like Social Security, pensions, and hybrid pensions. If you'd like to learn more about the best age to claim your Social Security, then click here.
And click here if you're curious about what a hybrid pension is and how they work.
And remember, YouTube's algorithm will automatically share this video with others, so please help us out in the community by clicking that like button.
See you in our next video on how to retire healthy and wealthy.